Hey there, YouTube friends. Masked Bandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. And welcome back to Summerdale. It's been a while since Summerdale's been on the old channel, but I wanted to let you know that Summerdale is rapidly approaching the end of its series. We are getting close to completing this park. There are just a few things that we need to finish up. And then a bunch of little details that aren't fun to watch anyway. But then we're going to call it a series. I mean, who would have thought, eh? Back in 2018, when I started this, and it'll be a short little project. 3 years later. Let me just zoom out here. Show you just a quick overview of Summerdale. You might notice some graphics changes. I have installed Reshade, a very complicated program, and a buddy of mine was kind enough to make a preset for me, so I didn't have to go in here and fiddle around. So that's why Planet Coaster looks as nice as it does. But anyway, you will see here we have a huge area. I blocked this in several episodes ago, knowing that someday I'd have to tackle it. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to tackle this. And if I speed along here, this structure, again, has been outlined for quite a while. We need to finish this. And this structure needs to be outlined and finished. You can see. So these structures have been in place for a long time. I always knew I wanted something there, but I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. Well, that's what today's episode is for. That, plus a couple more little surprises, and some little details here and there. And then there might be one more episode where we go over night lighting, and everything else I'm going to do off camera, because no one needs a whole video about me curbing. So, per usual, as I've been doing for quite a while now, we are going to do incremental steps in the process. First up, I believe, is taking care of this monstrosity of a building. So let's fix this. Let's make this look better. Alright, so the first big thing that I needed to do was to make something for Redline, the guy who, let's be fair, the thing that's gotten Summerdale to where it is today has been Redline. His contributions and his unwillingness to let this project die, and his fairly constant pokes on Discord about how Summerdale is going. Couldn't just let it die. And so I had to include him. I had to give him something in this shop, or in this park. So we gave him Redline's Red Hots. I think Redline's Red Hots is a super fun way to just gently nod and say thank you, thank you. So if you're watching this, Redline, thank you for all the help you've provided. As I was taking screenshots earlier today, I realized most of the things I was taking screenshots of, I didn't make. But nonetheless, I don't know if Redline specifically likes hot dogs or tater tots or hand-spun shakes, but to me, that's what Redlines sells. Redlines are red hots, tater tots, and hand-spun shakes. Just a simple little building here. We're really going to try and make this feel like a facade. I've thrown a whole bunch of random shops and stalls in here. And so we're going to originally I thought this would be one big shop, but I'm going to break it up into a whole bunch of different ones. This one here is actually going to be Redline's 2.0 because I thought one dinky little part wasn't enough. So we'll give him half. You know, he gets about half of this whole little facade, you know, because he did about half the work in Summerdale. I'm going to turn this into a restroom, and then we have ourselves a churro stall over here, which is pretty good. So this is our first little update. Actually, this is very straightforward. I did use some TMTK some letters, TMTK letters for the Redline sign, and just an in-game billboard here. These are all, like, there's nothing fancy about this. These are some, like, I think this is from World's Fair, maybe even just straight up from the game, base game. But I've always been partial to this clapboard set, and I really like this piece, the topper piece here. It is so very theme parky, and I tend to use, you'll notice it over there. It's all over the place in this park. So love this color scheme too. This shows up a lot, this kind of pale yellow and darker red color scheme, and it totally fits with redline. So that's why we did that. And then this little overhang here, I don't know, it felt nice. It felt like a way to add interest without making the ceilings too difficult, because I knew if I made the roofs too complicated, it would have been a headache that I was unwilling to solve. So really what I'm doing here, and this is awful, but what I'm doing is I'm not cutting corners, but I am getting the most bang for my play buck. I don't want to make custom roofs if I don't have to, and I would much rather make a custom trellis to add the same amount of visual interest that a custom roof might make. And to be fair, in a theme park, a lot of these just kind of taper off flat roofs. There's a lot of flat roofs in facade work for like Six Flags and stuff like that. So that's kind of my idea here. That being said, it wasn't meant to be a cop-out. It was just, I want to be done with this project. And so what can I do to make it look good without having to spend another several months on it? And that's kind of where we're at. So the decisions that I'm making from here till the end of the project are simply, what can I do? What's in my bag of tricks to make it look good without having to spend a ridiculous amount of time? So, aside from giving it to someone else to do, right? So anyway, we've still got a lot of work to do in this little section here. So we need to press on so you can see what else there is. So that was the strangest thing. I uploaded 3 different save files, and they had no difference in what was done in the project. And then I jumped to this one, and just about everything was done. So I do apologize that you are going to get a finished version of this rather than some in-progress stuff. But that's all I've got. I don't know what happened, if it was on Planet Coaster's end or my end. Seems kind of weird. I bet you it was on my end. Nonetheless here. First things first, we're going to go this way, and I added this little advertisement here. I thought we had this empty blank space. Let's throw an advertisement in. Play tomorrow for only $10 when you show today's receipt at purchase. So on your way out, buy a ticket for tomorrow for only $10. I'm assuming it's more than $10 to come to Summerdale. So here's Redlines 2.0. It's kind of got this retro future vibe to it. And Redlines 2.0. If I'm still working with this this shader here. It is bigger and bolder. I don't know. I think it's funny. So Redlines 2.0, bigger and bolder. Oops, we're going up into the chairlift. We also have here our restroom, our facilities, with some water fountains, TMTK water fountains. And if I swing it back around this way, you'll see our churro stall. And again, these are very simple techniques here. These are all pretty basic pieces. I believe that these little decorative pieces right here are TMTK pieces. Boy, I was kind of, not that I was like poo-pooing TMTK, I just wasn't all about it. But working with Redline, he's all about it, and he's made me all about it. So I also went ahead and threw down some more picnic benches here, and I shored up this area here. I added some hedges and fencing just to kind of make this look a little more complete. We're going to put a nice sign right there. Yeah, whoops, I'm on top of an umbrella. So you can see now that this area, if I zoom out, I've gone ahead and done all the roof work on it. It's pretty straightforward, nice and simple, as easy as I could make it. Like I said, while still making it look pretty good. That's my goal. That was my goal. And I think I achieved, excuse me, as we go through the plants here. But I just love this. Like, I don't know, this turned out way better than I anticipated. I was a little concerned, but I do love the kind of mishmash of styles we have cooking here. For whatever reason, it works, or at least I think it works. Hopefully you think it works as well. So if I zoom down this way now, we are reaching the next major milestone, and that's going to be, as the coaster goes by, this area right here. We need to fix this shop up. It's been sitting here for quite a while. I want it to have kind of a fantasy vibe, So we're going to go ahead and fix this up using stucco and stone with the standard wall set here. We're going to put a vendor in there and kind of spread out to the overhang. Like if you look, the overhang here, the idea is that you put all the wares inside at nighttime, but once the park opens, you push everything out here into this area. So that's kind of what was going through my head here as we begin to plan this shop. So there you go. Let's take a stab at this one now. Okay, so here we are. You will see that I did go a little bit with the fantasy vibe on this shop. I added in the clock. I don't know why I was so... I knew from the beginning I wanted a clock there. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I really enjoy how this works. This windows as walls to get them set back inside the arch like that with a nice little window going there. This is another really simple building. None of these buildings in this project are super complicated, but... I really like the way this turned out. It has a nice little vibe to it that feels very different. The nice thing about Summerdale is it's just random. It's like whatever I felt like building at the time, it kind of works because it's an amusement park rather than a theme park. So whatever. Like, who's Tucker? I don't know. Tucker's nobody. Tucker's somebody. I like Tucker because his name begins with T, just like trinkets begin with T. I don't know. Whoa, the clock just went bananas. This I love. This is my favorite part right here. This Immelman. Ugh, I love it. Threw a balloon stall here because this is actually a balloon vendor back here. So I thought it made sense to have a balloon vendor so that at least the people around here would be walking with balloons. It makes sense to me. Oh. So I finished the fencing here along this coaster so that no one can just waltz in there and chop their head off. You know, but it's these kinds of tedious things that are really going to make the park complete and feel alive, but they're also the most boring things to show off in a video. So don't be surprised if I just kind of do these off camera. So the list, however, is the final structure of Summerdale. It's kind of weird that this is the last one. It's really not much of anything. It's just, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I knew I wanted a building here because there's so much room between this and like back that way. The next closest thing is Barbecue, so I wanted something to be here. What it's going to be, I'm not sure yet. So let's crack on and let's finish up the last major structure in Summerdale. And this is the last official building that I have to build for Summerdale. And if you could see the big grin on my face when I say that, yeah, that's a good feeling when you know that you don't have any more buildings to put in. This is Sadie's Jams and Jellies. A simple little building here. I kind of wanted to tie in some of the rustic vibes of the log flume and tie in the red of the coaster here. So that is exactly why we have, you know, a red kind of farmhouse looking building. Super simple. Again, not trying to do anything too fancy. Just a little something something. There is no interior to this actual structure, but I like it a lot. I'm kind of pleased with it. I think it looks quite nice here on the corner. And now when we come back here, I love this. I think this is now complete. This little area here might be my new favorite. This might be my new favorite part of the park. Right here. I don't know. There's something very satisfying about this angle. Now with Sadie's in the back with Tucker's trinkets and the coaster here, I do enjoy it. And back here, and a nice thing is, from back here, let's take a look back here. That Immelman poking out over the tree line there, just ever so slightly. You can see the lift hill back there. It just calls you back, you know? And that sight line's unintended, but still, that's the kind of thing that, I don't know, I love looking for. Interesting sight lines and views. Here we go. We can actually see the coaster go. Perfect timing. Just, I don't know. I'm really happy with this part of the park. There it comes. There you go. Come on now. Hopefully you enjoy that as much as I do. There's not much left to show. A couple more things, a couple more details. So let's get out of Tegid Cam and I'll show you around. And so I finally got around to finishing up detailing the Skyway. You can see Summerdale Skyway. Oh, I think this adds a lot to an otherwise very boring facade. Just that little bit, I think, makes it feel so much better. Threw in a planter here, covered up some area, moved the ice cream shop, moved the ice cream stall, actually, so that it was off the actual path, kind of filling things in a bit. Yeah, I've got a big open space here. Maybe we'll do some sort of planter thing here or something, or maybe we'll just leave it open. I mean, I don't know. Zooming out here, it feels like that would make sense. We also have this backstage area here that Redline put in for us. Did just a bit of work to tidy that up a little bit. But yeah, so that, and then if we swing all the way down here, we go back to the original one. I put the Summerdale Skyway sign on this side as umbrella, this side as well. So there you go. I don't know. I think it's great. I'm patting myself on the back a lot here, but you know what? I almost finished a park again. Yay! And the last thing I want to share with you for this episode is this flower garden right here. It is the Summerdale Sun! And that was made by Redline. He saw this area and he was like, we need something here. And he had an idea, and I think it's great. I love it. You get some nice views of it as you go over the chairlift. This little fountain here adds a little bit of movement in an otherwise peaceful area. And now this little square here is so homey. I mean, I love it. You can see his awesome whip building back there. We have our what do we call this? Opera house? No, theater. I don't even remember what I called this. It had a name. No, I can't remember. Oh well. Our fancy building. All of our other facade work here. And then over here, I just love the dichotomy of modern. Like, that is totally stolen from something at Cedar Point. So, yeah. This is, let's zoom out. This is the park, guys. This is not complete, but darn close. The next episode, we will be doing lighting, so we'll take a night tour. And then I think it'll be the final episode with POVs and a walkthrough. I have to shore up a lot. I've got a lot of corners and edges that need work with curbing and plantings and stuff like that, just greening things up. But you can see we have a completed park now. And now it's just the details. And those won't take too terribly long, because as you can see, most of it is in pretty good shape. So the biggest area we still have to detail up is back in here. And then just do a once over, do a detail check. And so there you go. As far as what's going on with all these community submissions, I'm going to clean this up as well, but I don't think I'm going to be adding much. I might add a few things, and I might dress it up a little bit, but I'm not going to do too much with it because this file is already massive with all these awesome custom structures people have made. They are not light on the pieces, we shall say. So this file is already sluggish, but we'll try and fix it up a little bit. My main goal is to get the park itself completed. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing to the channel. And with all that being said, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever. And I will see all of you real soon for the next episode of Summerdale. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.